you can win. Yes, you can make it. Yes, you are successful. Yes, you are empowered to prosper. Yes, go for it. Who's stopping you? There's no one can stop you but
And
you.
how a person moves. And our tagline is sharks move different. And how we move through life is going to dictate what we get out of life. And if you're not moving strong, you're not going to get big results. But if you're moving strong, you're going to position yourself to get great results. So that's
Shame on you. Your life should never go backwards. It should only go forward. And if your life is staying the same or going backwards, if you don't figure out how to pivot and pivot quick, I mean, I'm not a man with you. I'm going to come through that camera.
the number one reason why people stay stagnant in life is that sometimes they're afraid to go into the deep.
Ooh, that's a very interesting thought and concept. So people are afraid to go into the deep. When you talk about going to the deep, what do you mean?
We go on the water a lot. We love the cruising in the coastal. And the truth is, it's safer on the intercoastal than it is out in the ocean. So if you really look at the behavior of people at swimming pools, most people stay at the shallow end. Very few people go to the deep. If you look at the whole boating community, most people kind of safely trek down the intercoastal, and very few go out into the deep blue sea. And so, to me, that's a metaphor for life. So when we see successful people, it's because they had the courage, they had the chutzpah, they had the vision to actually go out into the deep, because that's where the real fun is.
Oh, okay. So today we're talking about our book Swim, and we're talking about how a shark and a suckerfish and parasite can teach you next level success. And thinking about this book, when we created this, wow, this was I think back in like 2018. I was just going through some pictures, and we're gonna put it on the screen here of the day we saw our very first suckerfish. And the day we saw that fish, honestly, it was kind of mesmerizing. We were out fishing with our son, out in the ocean. We were out in the deep. We were out in the ocean on the Atlantic. We were out in the deep. And it was pretty cool because at that moment we were out drift fish. It was called drifting when you go out with a fish charter and you go out into the ocean and you go with a whole group of people and you go fishing. And so this one particular day we're out there. We put our poles out there. We got our bait. And this one fish got on our hook. And I'm going to tell you, this moment of that fish getting our hook really kind of changed our narrative, to be honest. And I think it changed our narrative for a couple of reasons. One, at that moment, we were looking for a book deal. We're trying to get a book deal, to be honest. That's really what it came down to. We were talking early that year about needing a book deal, wanting one, and not having one up until that moment. And then secondarily, I think the moment of that sucker fish moment, as we saw the boat mate throw this fish on the top of a ceiling because he got the fish out of the water. It was on our lines. And then he takes it from us. He's like, hey, why don't you all watch this? And he throws it up to the ceiling. And to see that thing suck itself up into the ceiling, it was like, wow, what is that? And then that's when we heard the term for the very first time. He said, that is a sucker fish. And I'm going to say that moment was transformational for you, because that moment for me, I went on about my day, and I went on and I was like, okay, next. And I know for you, you came back and you were thinking about it, meditating on it. Let's talk about that some.
Absolutely, Antoinette. And you're right. That day was a transformational moment, because the first question we had was, can we eat it? And the guy was like, no, you can't eat it, but watch this. And then we saw it defy gravity and really stick at the top of the boat like I'd never seen before. And to look at a weak fish, I mean, it wasn't a really big, strong fish. I'm a Midwest guy used to lakes. I'm thinking, how's this little weak fish making in the ocean? It's kind of ugly, strange looking. And the captain made a statement that really captured me. And he said, a suckerfish is waiting for a shark to come by. And as soon as he said that, man, I literally dropped my fishing pole. And I was like, what? He said, oh, yeah, the suckerfish is waiting for a shark to come by. And it's a symbiotic relationship. And the internet, we finished the day fishing. I went home. I researched the relationship between a shark and a suckerfish. I ran to you and said, oh, my God, I have a book idea. You set up the meeting with our book publisher, and we had never had a book deal before. And in 15 minutes, we had a book deal, because the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite now has become a movement. And it all started that one day catching the suckerfish.
Wow, I'm gonna take you back a little further because actually, the first time you gave that message, it was actually you were on stage. You were at a realtor event and you gave that message. And so I'm going to say you're letting that moment was percolating on the
It was.
inside
It
of
really
you.
was.
It was really about it percolating. And I think for all of us, as we maneuver life, and I love that you started off talking about us going out into the ocean because we love boating. We love boating. We love going out. It is like if you've never gone boating, I'm going to tell you, it's one of the most peaceful, tranquil days you could have in your life. That's why we love going out all the time as much as we can. And so, one thing we definitely know for a fact is when you stay and play it safe, nothing's good ever's going to come. It's not going to come to you. Why? Because you're too afraid to kind of take a risk. You're too afraid to go out into the deep. It's like swimming. I mean, think about it. When we go to the beach, there's people you see, what do you do on the beach? You lounge. And if you make that a metaphor of life, kind of those people that just lounge through life, they're laying on the beach. They're the ones that's on the beach, lounging, playing it safe, not trying to do nothing too much. And I know we know a lot of people like that. And I know you do too. And this whole movement of the shark mindset is really about going into the deep, taking risks, kind of going for it. All of us have dreams. We all have aspirations. But how many of us are really willing to go for it?
And you know, Internet, the book Swim that we wrote has really been such a blessing that just last night we got a random email from a high school football coach who heard it at a workshop where a presenter gave the whole methodology, the shark mindset. And so for us to see people engaging, you know, and teaching and learning, and we're not even there is really powerful. And it really, really confirmed to us that that was a message that we got from God. You know, and this whole shark mindset became a movement. YouTube, 4 million views. You know, we've been in front of NFL football teams, college football teams, basketball teams, because people need help with their mindset. And the whole shark mindset movement, we got gear now, we have apparel. It's become a thing. And I'm so excited because we're able to help people with it. And if you really think about it, we're in a land of mental health right now. And I like the conversation we're having around mental health because mental health is not about being crazy. No, mental health is really about nurturing and caring for your mindset, how you think, and making sure that you're mindful because your brain is your engine. It's the thermostat that really regulates your life. And so, through the shark mindset and through the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite, we're going to explain that a little bit later. People are getting some help. You know, people are getting some stability. People are getting some thoughts around how to think. Because the truth is, we humanize the shark. We really categorize all the behaviors of a shark, and that's why they're the apex predator. And if you can adopt these behaviors into your life, you can be a champion in your ecosystem. And that's all we're doing. We're building champions. We're helping people become the best version of themselves. And the only way you can do that is by having a strong mindset.
You know, I love that you link that to mental health. I think a lot of times people make mental health like this big, big thing when it really is, to me, it can be big, but I think it really boils down to what's our perspective. I think a lot of times if we have the right perspective, then we see opportunity differently. And I know as a mom of three children and your father of three, you know, when we think about how we motivate and encourage our children, we've always taught our kids to go for it. You know, that's one of the things that for us as parents, and I know me from my parents to me, from us passing down our children, and especially with us being entrepreneurial, we're always like, go for it. Yeah, you know, figure out what you want to do. Go for it. Create your own business. You can do it. Every time you look around, there is opportunity everywhere. But when you don't have that kind of mindset, you really tend to be that person that thinks that no, there is no opportunity. No, there's nothing for you. No, you're not going to win. No, you're not going to make it. While we focus on no, you can win. Yes, you can make it. Yes, you are successful. Yes, you are empowered to prosper. Yes, go for it. Who's stopping you? There's no one can stop you but you. And I always come back to because that was our original mantra when we launched our training and development business. It was no one can stop you but you. And then we start discovering that, you know what? It all starts with your mind. And if your mind's not right, your elevation will never be right. You got to get your mind right first.
And that's why the shark is the apex predator in the ocean. They're relentless. And the Sacred Six and what we teach in the book really empowers people that if you can adopt these behaviors, you'll be successful as well because there's so much abundance here. You know, one thing I love about being in South Florida, cruising around on our boat, is that you see these big yachts, and it's almost like, oh my God, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, I've seen some of these boats. I'm thinking it's like a commercial boat. Like, no, this is an individual's boat, which means they went out to the deep and they conquered. And really, the great white sharks of the ocean, they're in business world. They're in academia. They're in entertainment. They're in sports. And we're going to start highlighting sharks. We're going to start featuring sharks because we really understand that how a person moves. And our tagline is Sharks Move Different. And how we move through life is going to dictate what we get out of life. And if you're not moving strong, you're not going to get big results. But if you're moving strong, you're going to position yourself to get great results. So that's why we're excited about the Sacred Six. It's helping people. I don't care, kids of all ages. I mean, we got football players in high school. We got golfers who are 12. We got adults. We do sales trainings. The whole Shark Mindset message is a movement for kids of all ages because our mindset, let me tell you something, I don't care how old you are, it's important to manage and nurture your mindset.
And I want to make sure we're clear because for the most part, I mean, I can tell you, we've been in the airports before, we've been on planes, and people like adults, because most of our message is to adults, honestly. But I think it's pretty cool that now with this shark mindset conversation, that people in schools are now, and I'm like, wow, we're seeing it as an opportunity to go back into schools. We came out of that. We haven't done that for like 20 years, but now we see, wow, you know what? Imagine if we can capture someone young enough and we get them locked into a shark mindset when they're 12, 13. Well, you know what? Now in their formative years, they're developing a mindset that says go for it. And I love that as our overall tagline for our business and what we do at Peak Performance Title. It is 100% go for it. As I look at our film guy, Charlie, right now, I love the fact that as he's been with us for the last 2 years, and I'm watching him scale and grow his business. And he said to me last week, he's like, Antoinette, I'm scaling just like you told me to. And I'm like, you know what? Just stay around us long enough because that's what it's all about. It's about us growing. And if you are staying the same and nothing's changing in your life, shame on you. Your life should never go backwards. It should only go forward. And if your life is staying the same or going backwards, if you don't figure out how to pivot and pivot quick, I mean, I'm kind of mad with you. I'm going to come through that camera because we all got to learn how to pivot. If something's not working, change. What are you holding on to? What are you scared of? It's not working anyway. And I love that you said that to your basketball coach. You said, Coach, we're losing. What do you have to lose? We're losing anyway. That's how it is in life, for real. For the most part, people who are scared, they're stuck, they're in this place and they know they're in a rut, but they're scared to admit it. They're scared to own it. So therefore, because they're too scared to own it, they can't do nothing about it. And then even more so, they don't even ask for help. That's the worst part. To be in a position that you can go be a good sucker fish, and that's what we're going to talk about later, because every sucker fish is connected to a shark. Oh my God, imagine you could just collapse time frames. Why? Because you go get a mentor. You can get somebody and have access to somebody in your life that can help push you forward and elevate you. Why would you not choose that?
Well, let's make sure we're going to take our time with this because we believe the shark mindset is an opportunity for all of us to really live our best life. So this segment, we're just going to talk about going into the deep. This is a chance for you to go deep. So if you have a business you want to launch, if you want to go back to school, whatever your best life is, whatever your dream is, you go to a swimming pool, a lot of people hold on to the side. Right, they just hold on to the side. And I'm telling you, the kids at the other end diving off the diving board are having all the fun. And that's all we're trying to do. It's a metaphor for life. So the shark mindset is positioned, the book Swim is positioned to help you go into the deep, have some fun with your life, and live your best life. So thank you for joining us. This is just an introduction. We're going to break this whole book down because you might be confused a little bit right now, saying to yourself, well, what is this about? Take your time. We're going to teach you what it's all about. Because once you grab this is something you can hold on to for the rest of your life. And it's a movement now. We got apparel, we got gear. This thing is off the shore. It is moving fast. So stay tuned because a sharp mindset is going to be transformational for you.
And if you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. So make sure, catch the next episode as we continue to talk about swim and the shark mindset.